Meanwhile, the United States President Donald Trump will this week embark on his first foreign trip of his second administration with a tour of the Middle East as he looks to secure investment, trade and technology deals from leaders. And this visit comes amid numerous regional conflicts, including Israel's war in Gaza. But for more on this, we speak now to SABC News Correspondent Trent Murray. Trent, good morning. So a big one this is, especially against the current backdrop of that war between Israel and Hamas. But of course, Gaza literally being obliterated at this point. The U.S. president's visit, we are told he will not be visiting Israel. So what are we expecting?
Yeah, that's right. President Trump is returning for a historic visit to the Middle East, in the words of the White House press secretary. She says it is about promoting a vision where extremism is defeated through commerce and cultural exchanges. As you rightly say, this is President Trump's first big overseas planned visit since he returned to the White House. He, of course, did travel to Rome for the funeral of Pope Francis, but this is his first big major trip planned. Quite a big agenda too. He's planning to travel to 3 of the region and the world's wealthiest countries, really: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, as well as the United Arab Emirates. We are expecting a number of discussions around business deals potentially underway. We know that he is looking to try and extract some foreign investment from some of those wealthy, oil-rich countries. But I do think the war in Gaza, as well as the ongoing tensions with Iran, will likely loom large over this trip. As you rightly say, he is not planning to visit Israel. I'm sure the Israelis would have liked to have seen him visit their country during this trip, but he has opted not to. But they certainly will be watching very, very closely to see if any of those announcements or decisions made could affect them in any way. And no doubt we'll be getting plenty of comments from them along the way.
And of course, Trent, also this coming at a time when there is a deal for an exchange of an American-Israeli citizen. And we were told that there was nothing in return. It was a goodwill gesture, so to speak, on the side of Hamas. So how is that being received in Israel, knowing that there are still a few other people being held captive there, and this is just the one person who will be sent back?
Yeah, so it's thought there are 59 hostages still in Gaza, of which up to 24 of them are still alive. Now, that includes the Israeli-American citizen Eden Alexander. And as you rightly say, overnight, Hamas made this announcement that they would be releasing him as part of a goodwill gesture as President Trump returns here to the region. It appears what has happened here is that it's been a slightly different negotiating tactic to ones we've seen in the past. It appears the Americans have dealt directly with Hamas in order to get this deal over the line without Israeli involvement. They are saying that they are preparing to facilitate his return, but they are still pushing for a much larger release of those captives. The current deal on the table, we understand, is they want 10 hostages released all at once, and if that happens, they're willing to agree to a ceasefire. But if that doesn't happen, then what they are saying is by the end of this week, when President Trump returns back to the US, if those big group of hostages isn't released, then they are planning to majorly step up their operations within Gaza with more forces on the ground in order to try and take more control of the territory. And what some of those analysts and experts here are saying is that if they do that, it's going to be very difficult then to find an off-ramp, because they'll be really upping the tempo of their military operations, and so sort of an overnight ceasefire will be difficult to achieve. So a crucial week ahead for the Middle East and for the war in Gaza.
Trent Murray, thank you so much for that update. That is our SABC News correspondent, Trent Murray, speaking to us from Tel Aviv in Israel.